Good morning. Welcome to day 10 of the curious case of Craftley Hall. Can you believe that we are a third of the way through this amazing adventure? The story is just absolutely incredible. Jay has written it perfectly. And the kit, oh my days, the size of it is incredible. There is so much there that you will be using this well beyond 30 days. It's absolutely amazing. If you still want the kit, obviously it's still available. It's no longer available at the discount because that ended on the 1st of June. But it's still there and you can still join us. So I want to give a quick shout out to all the members of the Foxy Crafters. Oh my days. I have been blown away by all the mates in the group. We have people doing their own thing. A lot of them are copying what the crafter on that day is doing, you know, the collaborator, and some are adding to the story. Amazing. I still have my theory that the reason the Reverend is no longer around is to do with Edgar Poe Crow. He got his name a long time ago when Tracie first put a crow in one of her kits. So I think it's something to do with him. One of the lasses had him very close to somebody's ear and it looked like he was causing a bit of mischief. So I think it's something to do with him. Anyway, let's get on with today's wonderful, wonderful day 10 collaboration. I am just blown away by everything that Tracie has created. It's just amazing. Okay, so today the verse is, Alice then sees someone dressed as a church reverend casually wandering beside the small cemetery. So Alice and her husband have moved into Craftley Manor. They don't know anything about the area, about the house, but they do know that this beautiful place needs a lot of renovation and they're living downstairs. Rose and her husband have moved into the house. Alice is the cousin. Both Rose and Alice have really not been well because they worked in the factory that belonged to Rose's husband's dad, and there was a lot of phosphorus around. So obviously they've decided that it was best that Alice come and join them too, so they can get fresh air, they can get away from things and hopefully get better. Alice has been helping with general household chores, things like that, and helping them to get the house a bit straighter, ready for renovations. Now, you know, quite often you will be stood somewhere or, you know, you suddenly see something out of the corner of your eye. And this is what's happened with Alice. She's seen something that looks like a reverend. And when she looks again, there's nothing there. So she just dismisses it, which we all do. How many times have you thought you've seen a cat? that can happen quite, or a dog, you know. And you're like, no, it's just shadows, it's just me. And that's where we are at the moment. So, this is the Reverend's old Bible. And it is a very old Bible as well. And I thought I'd get it out just to play along with the story today. So, he's got his Bible here. And this is the make for today. Now, this is the page for today. So, I've been given this lovely coin envelope, a tag where you can see the Reverend rather shadowy here, and of course the little verse for today to show what we're doing. Now, to make our make, you need 2 of these and you need to print the back. Now, I've used this paper because it worked perfectly for me. You choose whatever you want. It is entirely up to you, but you do need 2 separate sheets. Okay? So let me show you what the make is. I think I'm just going to bring you down a wee bit so it's a bit easier to see what the actual make is. There we are. That's a bit better, and it's a bit easier for you to see now. So this is my coin envelope. Okay. Here, this is actual antique lace that came from Windsor. Most of you would have heard of Windsor. Windsor is where Windsor Castle is. And you know where that is now. This is the tag. This is a totally different tag, this one. I will give you all the numbers of the pages that I used, so it's easier for you to find. And if you look, you can actually see the front of the Reverend on this one. So you can actually see who he is. You can actually see his face. And obviously I've got Edgar on here because I can't not have Edgar. So let's get over to the back of our coin envelope. Here we go. It's like the spider. I was going to try and do an envelope with a pop-up or something that came out when you opened it. But because this is so small, I thought, no, I'm leaving that. So what I've done is there's a hidden pocket in here. So you've got your normal pocket, and then you've got this hidden one here, and you'll see the hidden pocket better when I'm actually making it. You'll see how it works. So in here we've got a tag, and the back is the one that goes with the other one. On the page you have this one with the front and this one with the back, and then you've got the Reverend, the back there, which is today's tag. Okay, and then in here we've got an envelope, a very old tatty looking envelope. It looks like it's a bit mouldy, and you can just make out it says Crafty Hall Church on the front, and you can just about make that out. And inside are some pictures that are well worn. They look like they've been in a bit of a blaze or a fire of the actual graveyard. And we've got these in here, and then there's the wee map of the area, and they are very dirty because they've obviously been amongst a lot of muck and what have you. And you've got the manor here, and down here is the churchyard, and they're inside our little pocket. So let's show you how we make it, shall we? The stuff on the front of the envelope is called Flower Soft. Okay, now Flower Soft, this stuff here, was very, very popular many years ago. I'm hoping you can see that one. I don't want to go up too high. It was very, very popular a long time ago. The white in particular used to be used for snow on Christmas cards and things like that. It's Katie Sue Designs that do it. For this, if you don't have Flower Soft, although it is still readily available, and it's very cheap, you can use maybe dried old flowers, bits of, dried leaves, anything. The idea was to make it look like that there'd been old moss growing and it was gone old, and fungi, this type of thing, because it's very, very neglected. That is what that is there. So let me show you the envelope first. I've already cut these out. Whoops, I should have thrown tags and everything over there. Right, so these are already cut out. So I just need to score these quickly. Or did I score them? I can't remember if I scored them last night when I was putting them on the side. No, right, let me just score them quickly. You only need to score one of them, which makes life a lot easier for when you're doing the bending and when you're putting it together in a minute. Now, the whole idea of doing it like this is because we're going to make that hidden bit, that hidden pocket inside the envelope. So I'm just scoring this very quickly. There we go. So that's that bit done. Then you're going to bend these up so it makes life a little bit easier for you. Okay. Now, the next step is you need to do some cutting here. So remember, This is the way your envelope goes. Don't do what I did on the first one and think that this is like a normal envelope and this is going to be coming up and the flap's going to be coming down, and cut along here, which I did, dafty. I'm going to just lift you up a wee bit just so that, sorry, you're going to be feeling sick this morning, me keep moving you around, just so it makes it a bit easier for you to see. So make sure you've got it this way round. This is your top flap, you know, your flap of your envelope. So we've got a ruler and a craft knife has disappeared. There it is. And what you do is here, come down about 1/4 inch, and if you want to, you can actually mark it on here. So you want about 1/4 inch in here, 1/4 inch from the, you know, where the crease line is here, and 1/4 inch in here. And this is where you're going to cut right across there. So that'll be where your opening your pocket will be. Okay, it's slightly bigger, smaller, it's really up to you. Then what you do is you need to make a little thumbnail, otherwise you won't get anything out of the pocket because obviously it's so tiny. So we're going to just make a tiny little thumbnail, but not too big because obviously this is supposed to be a secret pocket. Okay, and then if you look at this, actually I've put the thumbnail a bit too far over, but that doesn't really matter. If you look at this, you will find that when you get the back on, which way round is it? This way. When you get it on like that, you won't actually be able to see. It will look like there's nothing there. Okay? Do not ink this bit, otherwise you'll be able to see it. So don't ink this bit. By all means, ink all the way around, but don't ink this bit because the idea is that it's a secret pocket that nobody can see what you've actually put in it. Okay? So, next job is to glue this bit down first. It makes life so much simpler and you'll know where you're going. Don't glue this bit. Okay. I think it's a bit cold this morning. It has got so cold here. Yeah, middle of June and we're all cold. Somebody in Adelaide, I was watching a video yesterday and she was saying we've not had rain for a month. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, come here. We're lucky if we see a hot day. Some of the creators who are not in the collaboration but have YouTube channels, you so have to check them out. They have done absolutely amazing work. They really have. What I've been doing is I've been putting the hashtag in so I can find those who are not part of the collaboration. And I've made a YouTube collaboration playlist. If you just look for Crafty Haul on my playlist, you'll find it. And some of these girls are amazing. They have made some beautiful things. They really have. Full of imagination. Some are doing all 7 days. But if you look at the playlist, if you open the playlist, click on a view playlist. That's what you need to do. Put view playlist. Then you can see the playlist. And then you can scroll down and see which ones you'd like to watch. Yeah, that way around. That way. Well, that's the bottom, that's the top, but I don't really make much. Try and get this as accurate as you can. If there's little bits that you overlap a little bit, that's all right because you can just chop them off there. Okay, but yeah, these girls, I've been blown away by them. I think my playlist is over 50 now, and obviously we're on day 10, so that's how many people have been taking part. It's amazing to see so much love for this. Right, which means now these will bend up really, really easily. Whoops. It's popped up today. Let's get this around this way. And this one down here. but this one's not, this particular bit, this has not been glued. The reason is because we need to put a brad in it. Okay, I'm going to actually come over a bit with that and make it a little bit bigger, that hole, so it's not going to be as small as I intended, but it might make it look a bit even, and then I can get those pair of scissors. So it'll be a bit of a bigger hole than I intended, but at least it'll look a bit neater. Right, he'll do for now. Yep, right, so easiest way to do this is you just get a load of little circles and then you start building them up. I find if you're using 160 GMS card, which a lot of us use for ephemera, things like that these days, only 3 are really good. If you put 3 together, it works really, really well. And then you'll need 2 lots of these. So that's one. Because these are what we used to make buttons from, weren't they? Buttons. Whoops, sticking up one of my fingers now, that's really no good. It has been so quiet here, it's been incredible. With it being common riding, you know, everybody's been away. A lot of people go on holiday and the rest of them go up the mare. And it has been wonderful. It's been so peaceful. Right, so let's get my little tool, and I need a couple of paper fasteners. Right, let's see if I can find the little black ones that I was using before. If not, I'll put big ones in. Oh, there's one. Wrong colour. If not, I've got really big ones in, but it'd be nice to get the right colours, wouldn't it? Right, I'll take you off there and tip some on the other side. That way. As you do when you do a video, you can't find what you're looking for. There he is. I know I had several. I'm just going to lay that on the side so that I don't knock it over. Right, so where are we, Brad? So obviously you pop this like this on here, make sure it's in the middle, and then poke your hole in and pop your brad in. This is where the fun and games comes. Will it open or won't it? I have cataracts now, so it's so fun because, you know, colours look different. You can get blurred vision, your eyes water a lot. Oh, the joys of being a crafter. So then the other one, you need to close this up and mark where the other one needs to be. But you don't want to go through the back like that. You only want to lift up the one page. Yep. Come in. Put him in. Yep. Now, what you need to do now is you need to cover them. If you cover them, you're not going to have anything catching on them, and it makes life a lot easier, particularly if you're pushing things in and out of the little envelope, you know, in the pocket. My envelope is the envelope. I found by turning this over, I was able to get it to stick really well. And then here, up on the top here, we've got one there. just need a bit of thread. Scissors. Now, if you're not already in Tracie's group, the Foxy Crafters, do come along and join us, because it's a wonderful group and it's very interactive. It really is. And there are some lovely girls in there, and men. We have our boys in there too. And it is wonderful. And what I love is there's so much support for people. You know, if you put a post in, people are so good at commenting and caring about people's work. Let's get this cut off here. This is quite a thick cord compared with other ones I've used in the past, so I tend to just leave one layer on, not do the two, because normally you'd leave two, wouldn't you? Two tails to tie up. So that's that bit done, and now you can glue your pocket down. Now remember, down here only and across here, otherwise you're not going to get anything in your envelope. I've actually managed to get some fine tips for this glue now. Tonic, I've got fine tips, and I've got a bundle. Well, I've got some glue come, and the fine tips arrived yesterday. So I'm going to try them and see how the fine tip works, because it might just stop all the problems with, you know, how glue, the white glues get that sort of, it clogs the end, doesn't it? It just sort of dries up and you've got this bit on the end. There we are. So now you can't see the pocket, but you know there's a pocket there. Let's use that. And there's your pocket in there. Okay, this is what today says. Okay, so you've got one thing will go in there, and when this is closed, something will go in the actual main pocket. Now, at this stage is when you will sew it, if you want to sew it. Okay, so you decide if you can have it sewn or you're not having it sewn. The other one was sewn. I'm not going to bother with this one, because obviously this is the one that I'm showing you how to make. It definitely must be clogged, this glue today, because there's quite a lot in it. So it's... There have been some major projects that have been done already by the collaborators, and the ingeniousness of them, you know, and the way that they do things, it has been wonderful. Now, people are just starting. Today I've, you know, because I'm on admin in the group, along with Cori Fellows, who's Which Craft Do You Do? And Maggie Smith, we admin, and in the group, everything that goes into group is approved first. That's the way Tracie's got it set up. And I approved today somebody's first make for the collaboration. So there is still loads of time if you want to join us to do these. It doesn't have to be at the time when everybody else does it. Okay, so then this will wrap round. Oops, that didn't do it very well, did it? That's better. Oh, there. Oh, there. Oh, there. That's a bit longer, that one. Where's the cord? That's it. So that's the main bit of your envelope done. So let's get on to the rest of it, shall we? Let's get all the sticky bits out of the way. Now, let me show you the pieces that I've actually printed off. Right, these pages I've printed off, so that, and they're on sticker paper. This is matte sticker paper, okay? I will link it below. It's from Amazon, but you have to look for matte. Otherwise, you land up with the glossy stuff. And if you've got the glossy stuff, you get a really, really bad sheen on it. If you want to show people things on camera, take pictures of it, or use it on YouTube, there is such a glare. It's unbelievable. So the matte is better. So these are the pages that I've cut off. Obviously, I use Edgar Poe Crow here. There's the church, you know, and the spider and what have you. So that is printer paper. Then this sheet, so I could get the map, is on avocado dye paper. And it's turned out really well. I mean, obviously, this is the second sheet I've printed. And the same here. This is the envelope, because we'll need an envelope. Now, to print the envelope, I went into Microsoft Print. And I went to the second square down. So you've got the normal one, which fills up most of the page. You just get the title edge round it. Then you've got 2 to a page. It's the next one, the third down, second box down, as in square, but it's the third selection that you can make with the fill page off. Okay, and that was small enough to fit in the envelope. Okay, so let me just quickly cut it out. Won't take 2 minutes. Oh, blinking heck. It's no good getting the serrated scissors out. That won't do nobody any good. I'm just going to cut these really quickly. Let's get the stamps out of there. Now, a lot of you have cut every piece of ephemera out, and I am in awe of you. I have now. Some of you are using Cricut. There's Cameo, and there's Scan and Cut. I mean, I've got Cameo, but I use Scan and Cut. Tracie has a really good video up on how to do it with Cricut. Things have updated on Cricut now, and she's going to do an updated version. But you will certainly get to print. But you will find with all software, sometimes there are bits that won't, it just doesn't want to cut out. Or like if you've got a butterfly, it sometimes with the wings, you will land up with it cutting out the eyes of the wings instead of going round it, you know. It's just part of technology, isn't it? And it's to do with the light, how the light falls on the page. I always have the light on. I know it sounds daft, but I always have the light on, hoping that it will make it look a bit better when it goes into the... Oh, I know it's dark inside the machine, but if there's a little bit of light following it in, it'll bring up the colours better, won't it? Right, quarter punch. Let's get those corners knocked off. No, you don't want to cut. Oh, I'll come back to you a sec. I think it's done that sort of part cut, that, hasn't it? Let's try and get it in properly. If it'll still cut. No, I'll just have to trim it off. There we go. And then you score your lines again. Try and score, if you've got a scoreboard, score your lines. It makes it so much easier. And it also looks a bit neater. You can, if you're using thin paper, not bother. I need to cut those little triangles out in a minute and all. Strange noises coming from the building site today. They built 3 semi-detached, but it now looks like what they're doing is they're actually joining 2 of them together, because that's what they tend to do nowadays. They sort of like squeeze as many houses as they can into the smallest space, don't they? And the houses are tiny. Oh, you don't want to leave, do you? Okay. Now, I've been using the new scorched timber. I've not used the oxide. I've just used the distress ink this time because of what we were trying to do, you know, where this is from and the whole idea of, you know, being old and everything else. Because the oxide gives such a totally different feel to it, doesn't it? But this really does, when you put it on, it really looks like scorched timber. Actually, I'm inking the inside now. You can see these, aren't you? Like that. But it does look like, you know, black mould. If you've ever seen black mould, it's sort of soft and furry. But will it come off? It sticks like no tomorrow. It really does. It will not shift unless you've got, you know, something that will get it rid of it. And to me, this sort of represents that. But I actually did a test where I ripped a piece of paper off just so I could see it. And then just put the ink just down where it was like, you know, ripped. And my goodness, it really did look like the paper had been burnt. Because the funny thing was, I was thinking, how on earth am I going to get that effect? You know, and I was thinking, oh, you know, what am I going to do? Start burning the paper? You know, and you can't do that. It would smell awful, wouldn't it? And then I remember that Tim had got his scorched timber out, and I thought, well, that'll work great. Now, obviously, this story is about people seeing spirits, as we call them, you know, or ghosts, as others call them. Well, my grandmother was a spiritualist. She used to have circle every Tuesday night, and she knew Harry Edwards. Harry Edwards is a very well-known author and spiritualist, and I met him a few times. And later on, oh gosh, let me think, about 28 years ago, something like that, I actually took over the spiritual church in Manchester, you know, to run it, because the lass who did it had passed over. She died, and I, you know, was doing it for a while. This stamp is one of Finnebar's. I think I've lost it underneath the wall. Yeah. Right. This stamp is part of this collection. Okay. Part of Finnebar's, and that's it there. It's got a number on it, so I'll put the number down below if anybody's interested in wanting one like this. It just worked perfectly for me for that, you know, black mould has got on it. And then I took a pencil and wrote on the front, because look, well, think about it, if you write it in ink, it's going to be too bright, isn't it? There it is. So I just took a pencil and wrote on it, Craftley Hall Church, so you can just about see it. You can just about see it, so it looks like it's well worn and well rubbed in, and, you know, years of time have gone over it. Then on the back, I took one of these little Edgar Poe Crow things. I've got some in a packet just here. There's a couple of these out. I didn't do a proper wax seal, you know, a normal wax seal, because of the envelope not having a vast amount of space inside. If I do a proper wax seal, it's going to be difficult to get it in and out. So this is the wax seal that Tracie gave us. So let's just ink him up a bit so he really is black. Poor Edgar. He says he gets blamed for everything. I actually have crows that feed here. And you see the size of them. They're huge. So that's our envelope. Okay, all ready to go inside our pocket. Now, the rest of the stuff, you obviously can cut pictures out yourself. That's not a problem, is it? I did distress this. I used, now, where are you here? This. Now, this is what you used to get years ago for when you were doing embroidery work, be it cross-stitch or normal embroidery. And the little things there are to cut your thread. Well, of course, Mr. Holtz has made the same sort of thing, charged a heck of a lot more money. Mine was free. And it's the same idea. So this is what I used. So easy. If you've never used anything like this before, it is so easy to use. And you literally just run it along as much as you want or as little as you want. And it'll scrape the paper up. I'm hoping you can see that. I'll put some ink on, you'll be able to see it better. And you can see, I'll do it against the white, it'll be better, wouldn't it? If you see against the white, you can see how it now looks like it's been burnt, doesn't it? Or it's been eaten away or something. Really good fun. You may find these really cheap on eBay or something like that. If you look for thread cutter, that's what that is. And if we go back to my envelope here, I can show you. And what I also did was I sort of scrunched it up a bit. And then where the scrunching is, you'll be able to see where I've just literally rubbed the ink over the bits that were raised very lightly. And put a little bit more of that distress on it. So it looks like it's been through the mill. So I know you can do those. I don't need to show you how to do that. That's that bit. And then we'll go on to one of the tags. Push you out the back there. Put that back there. Just trying to make a little bit of space so you can see me, because I'm starting to get an awful lot of stuff on here. Right, you can go in my envelope. Let me just put you out of the way in my envelope, and I know you are done. So you can pop him in there. In you go, mister. Oh, you're not going to go in there now, are you? I've pushed it too far. No, you're not going to go in, are you? Yes, you will. There he goes. Why are you not going in? Oh, because the seal's catching on the top of the envelope, that's why. Typical. Right, you go in there. Okay, that's you sorted. So, where's the big tab that I had? Oh gosh, this is dark, isn't it? When you're getting so many things that you're involved in, you sit there and you think, no, my problem is I've pulled the card out and it's sat on top of my box. So that's where the problems are starting. Right, so those are the two already there. And here he is here. Right, so let's cut him out quick. Right, so let's leave that upright. And then we need these ones. Did anybody see day 2 Nathalie's? Oh my goodness, it is amazing. She put so much work into it. It's absolutely gorgeous. You know, it's like a flippy folio. And it's stunning. And obviously when she'd made one, she knew there would be no way she could make another one on camera because so much work it went into it. But she's now gone back and she's made 3 videos to show how to make it. Bless her. So if you want a lovely project to make, I would give yourself a weekend to do it, or a couple of evenings, you know, or you might not want to do it straight away. You might want to do it when the collaboration is finished if you're doing every day. But it is absolutely wonderful. So let's go back to our envelope. And where's the other envelope one? Here. So on the back here, just down the bottom there, I put the church. which is actually a tag, and I cut it right close to the bottom. Just don't cut the spire off. Okay, and then I use my... Sorry, I'm just moving a box out of the way. It's full of card and I pulled it out yesterday because I wanted to do the filming this morning, and I should have moved it before I did that. I have a purple thing that I use to lift things off with, and now it's totally disappeared. But I usually have a little purple thing that I use to stick these on because it's easier to get the back off, but this will work. There we are. So the church goes in the corner here. There. Glue all over my fingers. Now, you've now got a choice as to whether or not you decide you want to sew around these or whether you've sewn around there. It is really down to you how you want to make this bit. Okay, but this is the one with the priest looking at you. Okay, so it's this one. Okay, you've also got your little label that I just this minute cut out. There. Like that. And you've got Edgar Poe Crow, which again is off of here. Let's get him off there. Obvious reasons I didn't cut all these tiny bits out, because I would have never found them again later. When you do Edgar, try and get as close to him as you can, because obviously he's sat on like a purpley coloured tombstone, and you don't really want that colour. Once you get further up, it doesn't matter if you've got some of the outline of what's going on behind him. There he is. About his tail a little bit, and there we go. There he is. Edgar, and then we had a bat. This little one here. It's funny, they look so tiny on the sticker paper, but when you actually put them on the tag, they look huge. Because we're doing it all in miniature this time, aren't we? And then we'll just cut our little boy out here. I've got pipistrelle bats in my attic. They're very, very tiny, and they're a protected species. And what people don't realise is they actually emigrate. You know, they go off every year and then they come back again. And then we need our little tab, which is just here, because I already punched that out. I did a whale tail tab. And that's you ready to put yourself together. So let's ink him all up very quickly. Look over there. I just love how this ink actually makes it all look so cruddy and dirty and vintage. I really do. I can imagine there's going to be a lot of people who will be using this on Halloween designs at Halloween. I'd love to know if you're joining in with this collaboration, because it's been just so much fun. That's for the tag, not for that. Right, let's stick you down first. As I say, you may not want to sew the envelope, but you might want to sew around the tags. It really depends on how you like it to look. And of course, there's lots and lots of stamps out there that you can use that have got sewing on them. I've used Linda Israel's for years, and they look brilliant. They really do. Oh, that's that one there. This one here. Now, I'm going to show you something in a minute. My nan gave me something years ago, And I don't know whether you know much about how in the very, very early 1900s, people basically spoke to spirit, saw spirit and all that lot. I know you would have heard of ectoplasm, particularly if you've watched Ghostbusters. I'm not too sure about this ectoplasm business, whether it was how they did it or what, I don't know. Because you don't really need it to see spirit, you don't really need it, you know. I don't know whether it was just something they came up with, I've no idea. I can't, and you know, and if you actually look it up, nobody's really sure about it, but it's supposed to be like cytoplasm, like a slime. And when they used to do it, they used to have it's seen in the dark, okay, which straight away you think, oh yeah, why are you hiding it? And what they used to have was a light, just a very, very dim red light. There he is. I didn't put the lace on this one because I'm just trying to show you the basic outline of how to do it. My lace, if you want to put lace on, I mean, this is actually the original vintage lace from Windsor. If you want to put lace on, you can. It's really up to you. I'm just trying to show you the design of how to put it together. You can put lace down here. You don't have to. You can put it across the bottom. So or not so, it's really up to you. But I will show you this flower soft stuff because I think you might be interested in seeing that. If you use that bit of paper there, and I'll just put a wee bit on. I'm not going to put it all on. Just so sort of, so it's like creeping up the side. Yeah. You don't need a lot of glue at all. And this is flower soft. Now you can get it in little pots, little plastic pots. That's what you normally get it in. This is like a refill pack. I need to get all my other ones out and put this in the back. So I'm going to lift it up in a minute so you can sort of see what they look like. They're like tiny, tiny floral bits almost. And it is very soft. You know, it's not harsh at all. Now, if I lift it, because there's grains all over the paper, you might be able to actually see what it looks like. It's just tiny little bits, absolutely tiny. Now, instead of using, I mean, obviously you could use, don't use the glitter because obviously there's no point in using that. But anything you've got, you know, you can put on the front of your card. Some people have been using crackle paste. There's been a lot of crackle paste used. Texture paste, gilding wax, anything you like. You know, this is your project, not mine. This is just me showing you how I made mine up. So that's the front. I'm just going to shift that and I'll put that back in its pocket bag rather until it's, I'll seal it away because otherwise it will go everywhere. And this is the sort of stuff that you know you'll be picking up 3 weeks later as it travels. It's like we do the diamond art, you know, you suddenly sort of walk into the bathroom, oh yeah, look at that on the floor. I wonder where that one went. They stick to you. Oh dear. Right, so that's that. Now we're going to look at our tag really quickly. This is our tag. So what I've done is this I've cut down to be the size of this one. In fact, that one looks awfully smaller than the one I was using yesterday. That doesn't seem right at all. This seems a bit small. It must be right because all the others are the same. Let me get that. Is that the same size? No, that one's actually smaller, isn't it? I do apologise. I've got so many bits that I've printed off here. Here we go. There's a bigger one. Oh, that's got him on it. Well, but we'll use that one. It doesn't matter if it's a bit smaller. Because I'd printed on the back, underneath here is actually part of this because I knew one was bigger than the other. And you just pop him on the back there. That's that side, that's the other side. Ink him up first. Yeah, so what I'm going to show you is actually a bulb that they used to use in the churches before they did the ectoplasm thingy. And the fascinating thing about it is that you can actually see the mercury rolling around inside it. Now, in 2008, that's it, they actually banned mercury in light bulbs in America. We still have it in the UK. They clearly want to kill us all off. But it is something that it is a well-known thing, was that, you know, you used light bulbs with mercury in. Basically, this is half the problem, is with you know, when they get broken, imagine that mercury going into the oceans and into the sea and what have you. You know, it's not good. Mercury causes an awful lot of problems for animals. And there are special ways you should clean up one. They tell you should leave the room for 15 minutes before going into it, before you clean it up, so that the vapours are gone. And it's something you don't really think about, is it? You just switch the light on and you don't think about what is contained in it. Okay, where you disappeared to? Well, I was going to show you. It's totally disappeared. Don't laugh. That is so strange. It was literally on the desk on top of the Bible. It totally disappeared. So what I will do is I will take a picture of it and shot them on my next videos. But it's a very long, elongated long white like this. But it's actually got a cross in the middle of it, which is what fascinated me, was that there was a cross in it. So obviously, when they were messing about with the occult, they obviously knew they shouldn't be doing these things, and they're obviously trying to protect themselves. And that's a funny thing, because it's the spiritualist church that you would attend to. I've never went to a spiritualist church until I was in Manchester, as I say, many years later. My dad used to go to spiritualist church, and I know lots of people did used to go to the one in Walton-on-Thames. And it was very strange, because at that one, they used to see animals. And, you know, I just had visions of them sitting in church and all these animals walking up the aisle. But they did see a lot of animals in that one. That's all I know about that one. But I will take a picture of it and I will put it on my next video, because it's quite fascinating to see how they're doing. Because Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, he was absolutely fascinated with it, with the occult. He absolutely loved the girls with the fairies in the garden. He actually really promoted that. You know, he was involved in the investigation and everything else. Because, you know, I mean, obviously they fooled the world for years on that one, you know, fairies at the bottom of the garden. But it's interesting to see how they looked at it. You don't really hear of people looking into the occult, into spiritualism and all the rest of it, until the Victorians. You don't actually hear about it, do you? You don't hear about what they got up to. But it was like parlour games to them to have these seances, you know. And then you hear of the charlatans and how that, you know, people would knock underneath the table, or they would have their knees under the table to elevate it and things like that, which is absolutely fascinating. But I won't go into more on that, because I've spent too much time messing about on this today. Please come and join us on this incredible journey. We need to find out why our bishop is wandering around, or reverend, whatever you want to call him. By the way, all that's missing from these is on this one is I left that like that, and that one I just need a bat on the back, and then you can decide how you want to finish it off. It's an incredible journey. The story is so well written by Jay; it's unbelievable. And I don't know how long this kit must have taken Tracie to put together, but it is huge. It is incredible. And obviously, whatever you make now, If you want to give stuff away for Halloween, you can keep it. A lot of people are making boxes to put all their stuff in. There are freebies. It is amazing. So thank you so much for being here. Please go and subscribe to the collaborators, each and every one of the collaborators. Please also go and have a look at my playlist and have a look at the new girls who have come along. I will try and list them down below. It depends on how much room I have. You know, when you're writing the kits and things like that, they only give you 5,000 words. And when I was doing the Peace of God collaboration, I landed up going well over. So I will try and link some of the new girls who have been doing it on their own. They're not part of the team, but they are really, really good, and I'd love you to go and visit them. So tomorrow is day 11. Can't wait. Thank you for being everybody. Thank you for being here. Would love to see you in group. I really, really would. So have an amazing day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.